I'm going to create 21 million crypto coins, make them subdividable by 100 million Satoshis, so 2.1 quadrillion Satoshis. I'm going to enforce the protocol with semiconductor technology called SHA-256 hashing. I'm going to let you do that hashing using a semiconductor chip. And then I'm going to distribute that Bitcoin system on a node and give it to anybody on Earth and make it open and free. And so that system became a form of crypto gold.
Hey guys, welcome back to Everyday Finance. In this video, Michael Saylor discusses Bitcoin and crypto. There are indications that the price of Bitcoin may experience a notable increase, with certain analysts forecasting a potential rise to $66,000 by September. Nevertheless, the cryptocurrency is encountering substantial resistance at the $1,700 level, which may impede its advancement. This resistance level has been a barrier for Bitcoin, and it's unclear whether it can overcome it. If Bitcoin manages to surpass this crucial threshold of 61,700,000, it would be a noteworthy achievement in its upward trend. In a recent interview, well-known Bitcoin educator Michael Saylor discussed his transition from skepticism to acknowledging the transformative power of Bitcoin. The Saylor explored the potential impact of Bitcoin on capital markets, highlighting its ability to create a more equitable and stable financial system by replacing traditional assets with digital alternatives. He also highlighted the idea that Bitcoin, as envisioned by Satoshi, embodies a stable and unchanging financial ledger that maintains value without any energy loss. It is evident that the scientific foundations of traditional monetary economics can sometimes result in investment theories and corporate financing practices that are more speculative than reliable solutions. This criticism highlights the need for a more rigorous approach in the field. And lots of things Michael Saylor discusses, so please watch the video to end. And share this video and subscribe our channel Everyday Finance. Thanks.
But gold supply increases 2% a year, and so gold itself is not outperforming the S&P index. You can't, so that wouldn't work either. So then we started thinking, can we buy real estate? But how do you buy a liquid portfolio of $500 million worth of real estate? And the problem was, real estate's valued based upon interest rates. So if interest rates go to zero, real estate values triple. And so the real estate values by the summer of 2020 were extremely high because the interest rate was extremely low. So then you start thinking, what's left? Art? How do I find a diversified portfolio of high quality art that's fairly valued? Not easy. We crossed all those things off the list and we thought, well, what if we could fix the defects of gold? What about digital gold? And that led us to crypto. And the idea of digital gold is, what if I actually could create 21 million gold coins, dematerialize them, move them at the speed of light, and then make it impossible for anybody to make any more of the gold coins? And what if I could move them on a computer? And I thought, well, that sounds like magic gold. But if God came down from heaven and said, look, I'm going to run the monetary system. I'm going to create 21 million holy coins. I'm going to store them in heaven. I'm going to let you decompose them infinitely. I'm going to let you telepathically move them between any two counterparties and make sure nobody cheats each other. And I promise to do the work for next to nothing forever. You would probably think that's okay. That's probably an upgrade to every existing deal you're going to get. But in the absence of a deity offering to do that for you, then the next best thing is, what if we actually created that system with cryptography and the internet and some semiconductor technology? And that, in essence, is what Satoshi did. Satoshi created a crypto network, which is like perfect pharmaceutical-grade gold. Satoshi called it a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. But what that meant was, I'm going to create 21 million crypto coins, make them subdividable by 100 million Satoshis, so 2.1 quadrillion Satoshis. I'm going to enforce the protocol with semiconductor technology called SHA-256 hashing. I'm going to let you do that hashing using a semiconductor chip. And then I'm going to distribute that Bitcoin system on a node and give it to anybody on Earth and make it open and free. And so that system became a form of crypto gold. We were looking around for something to replace our dollars with. What is our treasury asset? And by process of elimination, everything else was overpriced or defective, or not acceptable from a regulatory point of view because they're securities and not commodities. So we found the one thing that might work, and you have to go through this analysis. Well, there's 10,000 copies. What's the winner? Well, Bitcoin was the winner of the 10,000 copies. Was it banned? No, it looked like it wasn't going to be banned because the IRS had designated it as property in 2014. And then the last part is that it had been hacked. And Satoshi has 1 million coins. It was worth $10 billion at the time we were looking. Today it's worth $60 billion. And no one can they can't hack it to get those 1 million coins in that wallet. And I figured if no one's figured out how to steal $10 billion hiding in plain sight, then it must be pretty hard to hack. And once we determined all that, we embarked on our Bitcoin journey.
Bitcoin's price has experienced a significant rebound of approximately 18.5% in just 1 week. This comes after it had previously crashed to its lowest point in 6 months, around $49,755. The recovery can be attributed to a combination of technical and on-chain indicators that have positively influenced the cryptocurrency, potential for additional correction in the upcoming weeks. During the current correction cycle of BTC, there has been a decrease in the percentage of long-term holders who are making profits. According to the 30-day moving average as of August 16th, almost 83% of these holders have seen their investments mature. Long-term Bitcoin investors who held the cryptocurrency for more than 155 days found themselves in a profitable position in March. The vast majority, around 96%, were able to make a profit. When a significant amount of BTC is held in profit, it is often viewed as a sign of fear of missing out, FOMO, which usually occurs before or during price corrections. This on-chain signal can have an impact on the market. If traders who specialize in financial analysis decide to take profits, it is possible that the price of Bitcoin will experience some declines in the next few days. Ascending triangles, which are seen as bullish reversal patterns in a downtrend, suggest that if Bitcoin can close decisively above its 54-hour moving average, there is a higher chance of it rallying towards the upper trend line of the triangle. This upper trend line coincides with the 204-hour exponential moving average, known as the aim for approximately $70,000. According to Edwards, there is a correlation between Bitcoin's price and gold's status as a safe haven asset. He compared the charts of both assets and noticed that Bitcoin tends to follow gold's movements, albeit with a delay of around 3 months. Currently, gold has already broken out of its previous consolidation phase. The upward trend prompted Bitcoin to follow suit, in line with a general macro trend. Bitcoin trends typically follow gold trends with a slight delay of a few months. Edwards mentioned that the cryptocurrency's potential for growth, the outlook appears to be promising, with the potential for rate adjustments by the Federal Reserve. Potential for increased gains in Bitcoin may be enhanced by recent cuts. Lower rates in the outlook have reduced the opportunity cost of holding yielding assets such as US bonds, which has increased the appetite for riskier assets like stocks and crypto. Let's get back to Michael's Saylor interview.
Culture, entrepreneur normally has a very positive connotation, but in certain more authoritarian cultures or more conservative cultures or traditional cultures, as a negative connotation. An entrepreneur is an economic engineer. That's how I would interpret them. It's an engineer is attempting to use their mastery of scientific protocols, mathematics, physics, all sorts of engineering disciplines, metallurgy, chemistry, aeronautics, to create some product or some service, right? Whether it's clean water, whether it's an X-ray machine, whether it's an airplane, whether it's Henry Ford's car, automobile, right? The engineers are creating something, and they're doing that in humble submission to the laws of nature. Water won't go uphill, right? not without some serious engineering. Ships that are unstable capsize and sink. Unsuccessful entrepreneurs create products that don't work, right? So the first element is you have to successfully engineer a product or a service. And in that regard, it's admirable. I mean, that's why we like Henry Ford. That's why we like John D. Rockefeller, because John D. Rockefeller came up with Standard Oil, a barrel of oil, and we take it for granted, but the oil didn't explode in your face and burn your house down. That's why it's Standard Oil meant that it wasn't likely to explode in the lamp, and it wasn't likely to be a health risk. And that mattered at a time when people would die if it wasn't, right? If you go to the Hershey's factory, the Kraft factories, they were the early clean engineering experts to actually create ketchup or create food, put it in a bottle, and then keep the bacteria out and be able to store it on a shelf for a month or a year or even a week. That was a quite amazing technical achievement because if you didn't do it right, you would open the bottle of whatever and it would make you sick. It might kill you with food poisoning. And so the original branded food, it was important because if I saw the brand, it meant that the food probably wasn't rotting or, the food was safe to eat. And we take it for granted today because all food's safe to eat. We're really good at it now. But there was a time when people weren't good at it. And the reason that we bought all of our food from Kellogg or from Kraft or from Hershey's was because they were really good at manufacturing clean food in clean rooms. And it's non-trivial to figure out how to do that. The first half of the entrepreneur is engineer the product or service so it's safe, it's effective, it flies, it doesn't make you sick, right? It doesn't blow up in your face. The second element of being successful entrepreneur is the economic engineering part. How do you manufacture the product for less than it's worth?
Despite the ongoing accumulation, Bitcoin experienced a drop below $58,000 on August 16th, with a 4.2% loss over the past week. However, based on historical post-halving chart patterns, there is a possibility that Bitcoin could reach $66,000 by September, as suggested by technical analyst Titan of Crypto. In an August 15X post, the analyst noted that, historically, the fourth month after the hoeing has consistently shown a bullish trend for hash BTC, with prices closing above the halving price. If this pattern continues, September could potentially be a bullish month, surpassing $66,000. However, it is worth mentioning that according to the well-regarded analyst at WCT Capital, Bitcoin's price must first overcome a significant resistance level of approximately $61,500. In an August 14X post, the analyst pointed out the local highs that have reached $61,500 and are currently acting as resistance. It's worth noting that BTC is currently in a consolidation phase, with the late June wedge highs around $62,000 now serving as resistance and the early July wedge highs at $58,180 acting as support. If you learned something from this video, then please like this video and subscribe our channel Everyday Finance, and we will meet in next video. Thanks.